Hi, I'm Adam DeSanctis. Welcome to MBA Ask the Expert, a series where we discuss a timely and important issue with a mortgage industry leader. Today, I'm here with Senior Vice President of Lender Solutions, Donna Yearego of Proctor Loan Protector for part 3 of our ongoing series, this one on customer service. As many of you know, mortgage servicing is complex, and there are times when a borrower will need to interact with their mortgage servicer or their vendor partners. Donna is here to talk a bit about how to improve the overall customer service experience. Donna, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. It's a privilege to be here with you today to talk about customer service and borrower care.
Likewise. So let's get started with a simple question, but one that may have different but many similar answers. To you, how do you define customer service?
That's a very interesting question because it's no different than any other call center. A homeowner is calling in or a consumer is calling in and they have an issue. So they want it resolved timely, efficiently, effectively, and usually on the first call, right? The only difference that I see in the mortgage banking industry is usually the homeowner is calling because they have a problem. They have an issue with their account. Sometimes they know what the issue is, other times they do not. So we have to make sure that we can handle and receive all of the customer inquiries through all of the channels. It's not just basically a call center, them calling up and expecting to talk to a representative. A lot of our consumers want to not even have to pick up the phone. So you have to make sure your technology is available to handle all these types of channels. So I guess the best way to sum this up is customer service can be a lot of things. Information available, resolving an issue for the homeowner in the channel that they want.
Don, I think that's a very good 360 overview there. So how does Proctor Loan Protector view the customer service experience?
Yes, Proctor Loan Protector is an extension of our clients, and our clients are financial institutions and mortgage servicing organizations. So basically, we are an extension of them. They define the customer experience they want their borrowers to have. And though we all know we all want the same thing for all our borrowers, sometimes some of our clients tweak it a bit. So we need to be flexible and nimble to be able to handle that. And like I stated before, we have to have the technology in place. We have to be able to do all the different channels and to make sure we can get important feedback to our clients' homeowners.
And technology, of course, is advancing rapidly from AI to automation and all facets of mortgage. How has it transformed the customer experience for borrowers from your perspective?
It's really, I never thought I would in a million years say it's really exciting to work in the call center, but my gosh, it really is. With all of the technology that we have with AI, I mean, it's just the sky's the limit on how we can reduce the amount of time that we have to deal with a borrower on the phone. But I think the best way for me to do to explore this is to give you just two examples. Once a borrower or homeowner calls into our call center and they are fully verified, we can direct them to what we think they're calling about instead of having to have a homeowner in an IVR going, do I press one? Do I press two? Do I press three? We basically have the data in our systems to be able to say, okay, are you calling on a letter that we sent you out on such and such day regarding your hazard policy? So we can direct them and then tell them exactly what we want. That is a huge lift. Number one, we have the CSRs better able to handle that. The other thing that we have in training, and I know this might seem like just something really little, but in training, get back in the days, you would do role playing, okay, so that you can make the representative more confident in handling calls. So the whole class would listen to somebody do one role play. With AI, we have every single one of our reps. They can take 10 to 20 different role plays a day. It gives them immediate feedback and coaching and lets them know if they did it right or wrong or how they can improve the call. End of the day, you want consistent, concise, confident reps giving the information to your homeowners.
Those are wonderful examples. And Donna, I've really enjoyed talking to you today. Final question. What has Proctor Loan Protector learned over the years, and what advice would you give others in mortgage servicing to improve their customer experience?
You know what? That's an interesting question too, because, it's not rocket scientists because we're all consumers. We all have to reach out to some organization almost every day or at least every week to try to get information or get something issued. What do you want to see? You want to be able to, number one, get the information yourself. At least I do. But there are some people who still want the human element. So I would say, with all this technology, you still got to be nimble. You still got to make sure that you have the human touch to be able to address everybody's needs. But you also got to know your consumer and what are they looking for. And I also think it's really, really important to have a dedicated team that always looks at the outliers to improve your processes. Never stop evolving. This technology is moving so fast. Embrace, stay ahead of, encourage, support, and engage and reward your team. And I'm just going to end on this brief note that I went to New York and I went to the Empire State Building, and they give all these pictures, and they showed the call center in the 1930s where they took the things out and they're plugging it in to be able to handle phone calls. Okay, we've come a long way. Can we imagine where we're going to be in another 20 years?
I was just about to say that. Outstanding advice. We have certainly come a long way. Donna, this has been a very informative conversation. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you very much, and everyone have a great day.